shit. Let's rewind. Take two. What's going on, people? Nat here, live and direct and in full effect, baby. What a day of sport. We're going to start with the ruggers, of course. England, 33. The All Blacks, New Zealand, 19. Now, I didn't think we were going to win because of Borthwick, who you know as Bummy Borthwick. But today, I'm going to call him Steve. Steve Borthwick. You'll get a pass for tonight, mate. You'll get a pass for the weekend. It is what it is. But let's be honest, the players did it. We've always had the quality. New Zealand are in a transition phase, so are we. We always have had the players for the longest. But Borthwick is one lucky bastard. He really is. Only downside for me, Dombrand should have played, at least been on the bench, and Henry Arundel as well. For me, a Henry Arundel and a Dombrand in this squad, in this team, starting. And yes, there is competition for places, which is what we all love to see. But for me, them two are the ones. And in the Six Nations, in a few months' time, in February, not too long after the start of the year, you're going to see Wagwan. You're going to see what time it is, people. Best believe that. So right here, right now, Fatboy Slim settings. Hit the like. Hit the subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the notification bell so you'll never ever miss when I go live and direct or when I upload the next video. And I'm mainly doing the lives at the moment. It is what it is. Shit to sort out, but we're going to do what we're going to do either way, people. Now, for me, what impressed me about that game today was the fact that we started okay, but New Zealand started much better. It was a fast-paced game. And I enjoyed the defensive display, more so in the second half for us than the first half, because we conceded 2 tries within like the first 20 minutes. And it looked like, not that they were going to run away with it, but it was looking like a long day for us. But then Ollie Lawrence, brilliant try. Bosh, literal bosh. Step Bodie Barrett. Got that 5-pointer. George Ford couldn't quite convert it, but he did make up with the 2 drop goals, and they were key. And in the end, he was a man of the match. And to be honest, I initially thought BENN, but on a technicality, if it wasn't for the yellow card, if it wasn't for the sin bin, I would give BENN man of the match. I could still give it to him, but to be honest, I think George Ford edges it. He controlled that game. And fair play. Now, I know, was it Freddie Stewart started at fullback? Cool with that. You know, we're kind of playing to his strengths, and the All Blacks did try and box kick it more than a fair bit, more so in the second half, I would say. But still, when he was on that pitch, he did what needed to be done. He failed his HIA in the end. Little collision. That's ruggers. It happens. It is what it is. And then Marcus Smith came on at fullback, played the rest of the game. Marcus Smith was great as well. Even though I wanted him to start at 10, but George Ford, it's hard not to play him. It's like he has to be in the squad. Now, in certain games, we need to get to a point where Marcus Smith should still be our number one pick for 10, but I would definitely have George Ford on the bench, at least for now. And then Finn Smith being third choice. Borthwick decided to go with a 6-2 formation on the bench, so 6 forwards, 2 backs. Ben Spencer being the other back with Marcus Smith. Ben Spencer being the scrum half in that. I don't know why he came on in the 71st, 72nd minute. He should have came on at the very latest on the 60-minute mark, fourth quarter, basically. But it is what it is. You know, Alex Mitchell had a great game. Yeah, quite a blinder, to be fair, apart from one box kick. If I'm going to be very picky, he handled it very, very well. New Zealand is always tough. Home or away. Autumn internationals, summer tours, Lions tour coming up in 4 years' time, World Cup in 2 years. Never easy, you know. Rugby heritage, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what we're dealing with, people. It is what it is. Late night stream settings. We got to do what we got to do. Yeah, I could have done it earlier, but I ended up watching the EUBANK highlights and all of that as well. Watch the other highlights of the other autumn internationals. Wales won in the end, just last minute kick. Fucking France got the job done in the end against Fiji. Australia absolutely battered Ireland absolutely battered Australia in the end. France beat Fiji, Wales beat Japan. What's the other one? Was there another one? No, I don't think so. Because I think Scotland. No, it was. I think Scotland played tomorrow, but Italy lost to South Africa. The Springboks still being the best in the world. The Wallabies have a lot of work to do, but it is what it is, people. It is what it fucking well is, Cam. That's the bottom line. Faye Wabosa I was a bit disappointed with today. And on the other side, Bodie Barrett didn't have his best game either, especially in the first half. Never really recovered. But Alex Mitchell was another contender for man of the match. You know, him and George Ford complement each other very well at 9 and 10. BENN was sublime. Sam Underhill was great as well. Got the try on top of that. Sam Pepper, he went down in the latter stages of the first half, basically the second quarter, midway through the second quarter, give or take, not long before half time. You know, showed a bit of bottle. You got to at this level, and yeah, carried on. Henry Pollock, bruv, got about 25 minutes. This kid is sensational, bruv. The shithousery. Austin Healey said it in commentary earlier. He gets a bad rap, but I don't get it. I love the guy. He's brilliant, and I fully agree. And Austin Healey knows out of all the rugby players in history, the most divisive, controversial. You know what I mean? Like, rugby needs people like that. Owen Farrell was meant to be that guy, but, you know, got the shithousery, but doesn't have the personality to match. Living off of his old man's name and all of that. Very good player, great at times, but at this level, been done. Been saying it. And because George Ford is keeping even Marcus Smith out at 10, Finn Smith as well, I don't see Owen Farrell getting in, even with injuries. Ollie Lawrence is back. Dingwall scored as well. He played a top quality game. Roback scored the final try. For me, I still think Henry Arundel was better. You put Faye Wabosa on the right wing. Yes, he can play left wing, but for me, he's better on the right. I put Henry Arundel at left wing. Scored a great try against Fiji last week. Henry Arundel for me, like you're going to see. Yes, you got the likes of Will Stewart as well from Bath on the bench, coming on for prop. Jamie George, that line out was shocking. We do that against Argentina, they'll cause us problems, innit? Because let's be real, we're not going to put them away like we did in the summer. they'll be well up for this game, especially after this result. And the fact that Italy beat the Wallabies in the end, and it wasn't just by 1 point as well. I think that was last week or the week before. Japan got close, but their ill discipline cost them in the end. Josh Adams on the left wing for Wales. You know, he doesn't come across as a malicious guy, but he's reckless on the pitch, mate. He's fucking reckless, that boy. You know, I'm all for aggression, and in rugby, you do need that shit big time, but there's a time and a place. Sometimes you just need to be cool, calm, collected. Composure, lads, composure. None of this mad dog bullshit. But hey, it is what it is, people. How we're rolling. Do I think that we could beat Argentina? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I do want to see Don Brandt starting. Elliot Daly's coming back from his broken arm as well. And the fact that Freddie Stewart failed his HIA, I want to see Elliot Daly, if possible, playing fullback. Because we play Marcus Smith at fullback against Argentina, I think there'll be issues. And I want to see Borthwick go back to a 5-3. So 3 backs and 5 forwards on the bench. The 6-2 paid off today, but I think, you know, Borthwick needs to stay grounded and not get ahead of himself. He won't show it, but deep inside, like, best believe, pause, all jokes aside, that he needs to realise that that's a one-off. That's a one-time thing. We're not the Springboks. You can't be doing the 6-8, the 6-2s rather, or the 7-1 formations on the bench and think it's going to work whenever you want it to work. That's not how rugby works, especially in this day and age. You need to utilise every single player, and they are, because that's the nature of the sport, especially at the elite level. But at the same time, we got great forwards, but we got great backs too. And when it comes to our attacking display, it's not quite there, but it is a lot closer. Not as much as Arteta on the football side with Arsenal, but at the same time, to a lesser degree, Borthwick needs to take the handbrake off. Defensively, we're good, but we're not that good compared to an Arsenal in rugby football terms and all that shit. We just need to do what needs to be done. Rest up well, enjoy the victory tonight. I'm sure they were partying for a bit. You know, they're away from their clubs and shit. Last time they get to be around each other, bond as a group before Christmas, before the Six Nations next year. Italy are looking good. Wales got that vital win. They might still finish bottom of the Six Nations Championship, but they're not going to be as bad as they were this year, the start of this year. That's for damn sure. So that's what's really going on the Ruggers front. There's not really that much more that I need to say other than well done, England. Great victory. It's the 6th time we've beat the All Blacks at home. 7, I think it's 7. No. I think in total it's 8 because we beat them in 2003. That's the last time we beat them in New Zealand. Before that, I think it was like 1980 or something like that. Put it in the comments or even in the chat, either way. If I'm wrong, let me know. But yeah, they don't get beat that often. But when they do, against the likes of us, Ireland historically, Wales haven't done it for time. They're not going to do it anytime soon. Scotland, France is kind of their bogey team. They beat them. France beat them last year, I believe, and the year before. But yeah, that World Cup's going to be telling, because if we want to win the World Cup, yeah, we need to start playing players in their right position and bringing in certain specialists in certain positions, i.e. Don Brandt at number 8, Marcus Smith at 10. Now, I don't know if George Ford is going to make it to that Rugby World Cup, but don't be surprised if he doesn't. I think if everything goes well, Elliot Daly should be there, i.e. no injuries. George Ford might, but I doubt it. I doubt it. Do not be surprised if he retires like just before. He's had an amazing career, a bit like Danny Kerr. It is what it is. I don't think Danny Kerr's ever played for the Lions. Neither has Mike Tyndall. You know, there's a lot of great players in history that have missed out on Lions tours, whether it's through injuries or other miscellaneous shit. It is what it is. But yeah, I'll draw a line under that, and we'll move to the boxing. Conor Benn, EUBANK Jr. 2. Conor Benn won on points, unanimous decision, and he knocked down EUBANK Jr. twice in the final round. But Conor Benn was never really phased. Like, EUBANK Jr. was off it. Even through the highlights, you could tell it is what it is. But fair play to EUBANK Jr. Handled the defeat gracefully. You know, showed a bit of sportsmanship there. Is what it is. Put on a great show. I still think the first fight was better because it was just more of a dogfight. It was basically just an out-and-out tear-up, whereas this one was a bit more technical, but it is what it is. Like, I kind of prefer the balance of the sweet science, but with a bit of rough and tumble, you know, letting the hands go a bit, letting the handbrake off, pushing forward, you know, asserting your dominance in the ring, being a front foot fighter, and Conor Benn's always willing to do that. Chris EUBANK Jr., you know, great fighter, but just as a boxer, he just lacks the fundamentals. They both don't have the amateur pedigree like other fighters, like a Usyk. Even Tyson Fury has more, and all these other fighters, the Mayweathers, the Canelos, Bud Crawford as well, etc., across all divisions. But it is what it is. Do I think Conor Benn, when he goes back down to 147, will he win a world title? Will he win the WBC belt? Going over to the States, most likely, like Tyson Fury did before, and Billy Joe Saunders, granted at higher weights. Ricky Hatton, I'm not too sure. Ryan Garcia, I think he could beat on his night. But any of the other fighters, I can't remember their names that he mentioned or that's on the roster to get to that WBC belt. We'll just have to wait and see in it. EUBANK Jr., other than British champion, and again, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I don't see him getting a shot at a world title. For one reason or another, he had his chances. At least Billy Joe had a crack, but ended up getting cracked in the fucking orbital eye socket. It is what it is, man. At like 35, 36 years old, there's not really much more his body can do, because that's the only thing he's got to prove to himself, really. Get a world title. Because Conor Benn gets a world title before he does, and Conor Benn's younger. Conor Benn ain't even quite 30 yet. I think he's 29, so it is what it is, right? Then like, what could you do in it? Do you know what I'm saying? So we'll just have to see on that front. I'm sure it'll be interesting. I'm not gonna lie, I would like to see Chris EUBANK Jr. actually have a crack at a world title, WBC, WBA, and all of that, IBF and IBO, whatever, etc. But I doubt it's going to happen. You know, it's the one thing that eludes him in his career. Made a lot of money, but no world title, only British title. I don't even think he got European title, as far as I'm aware. And again, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But yeah, very late one. It is what it is. And I will end it right here, right now. But I'll be back once again for the Renegade Master, best believe that. For the Arsenal v Tottenham match reaction. There might be a preview, there might be other videos, but yeah, I'm not too sure if there'll be a preview, but stay tuned either way. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Still on the road to 100 subs. I think I got a couple of subs recently, so I'm not too far away from 90. So let's get them numbers up, people. Hit the notification bell so you will never ever miss whenever I go live and direct and in full effect, or when I upload the next video. Stay tuned because there'll be more coming soon. All the best. Stay true to yourself. Love thyself. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we are out. Peace.